wrestling interview is our first Discord exclusive on our Nation Sports Show with WFAN host Danielle McCartan.
Good evening, guys. This is the first Discord exclusive for the sports show, not the Nation Show, the sports show called Our Nation's Sports Show. I am your host, John. As always, I am joined with Stephen Wyand. Stephen, how you doing tonight?
Wonderful. Let's talk some football and all this fun stuff. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And we're also being joined tonight by Ashley. Ashley, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm ready to get this show off the ground. I've been excited since you brought it up, so let's go.
And our first guest on the spin-off show. You can hear her every weekend on WFAN in the overnight. Danielle McCartan. Danielle, how you doing this evening?
Awesome. I didn't know I was the first guest. This is pretty cool. I'm batting leadoff for you guys. I like it.
Yeah, you were the first one on the sports show. But we always, on our other show, we always bring up, COVID, just because, we want to get that out of the way. How has COVID treated you in 2020, going into 2021?
Yeah, well, during the week I'm a teacher, so I've been a Zoom expert since this is March of last year. But I've never worked harder as a teacher in my entire life. Which I'm not complaining at all. It is what it is. But the other thing is with the sports radio, I was actually, because of COVID and ad sales went down and people weren't going out and people weren't really tuning in, I guess. The ad sales went down and I was actually from, I think it was September. So I wasn't doing any shows. So it was so hard for me because I had built traction starting my show. I wasn't losing time. So I tried doing some reach out things on Twitter and I did the best I could. And now I'm back. Now I've been back and I found that a lot of people didn't leave. So I'm really, really grateful for that, actually.
No, I'm lucky enough to listen sometimes because I have to be at work on Mondays at 6 a.m. So I'm usually getting the tail end of your show sometimes, but I do listen though. But let's go now, Stephen. Let's start off with you.
Cool.
All right, so I guess I'll be the first to throw the real dagger in this one with the Pittsburgh Steelers because starting off this season, they were 11-0, and even before their game against the Washington football team on Monday Night Football, I said that they were the worst undefeated team in any North American major sports, because they didn't hardly play anybody except Tennessee, which they basically almost blew that game. And, talk about this year with the season with the Steelers, because they lost 4 out of their next 5 games, basically. And they just stumbled into the playoffs, and then they get smothered by Cleveland. I mean, it was insane, the downfall of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I have a bone to pick with any Steelers fan or Steelers player or anybody listening with the Steelers. I had them in a parlay that first playoff weekend. And when I saw what was happening on my TV with the Browns, I went to bed. At the end of the first quarter, the game was over. They were up until the Bills, which I was really willing the Bills to win. Besides the Bills, they were my only loss in my entire playoffs predictions. I study a lot. I do a lot of permutations and all stuff. And I'm really upset with the damn Steelers. That's the second time this season that they've screwed me up in a parlay on FanDuel. And I can't believe what it is. It seemed to me like they just peaked at the wrong time. And I know it's like a saying that people say, but like they were playing so well that I guess other opponents started figuring them out and figuring what their strengths were and started to really, I don't know, just attack their strengths. And they peaked at the wrong time. They maybe showed too much too.
Right. Because it's like the Baltimore game. I mean, that game to me was the beginning of their downfall, because even though the game got postponed, and finally they played it, it was the way the game was going. And then next thing you know, they're losing the teams they shouldn't be losing. They should be beating, like Cincinnati. I was like, really? You're losing to the lottery bound Bengals? What is going on here? Yeah. Ashley?
Well, Stephen already knows of my hatred for the Steelers, but I want to switch gears. Like, I want to talk about you. Most people don't take women seriously. I mean, we have obviously Erin Andrews, but when you were getting started, how hard was it for you?
I don't know if I want to say hard, because I've kind of taken the alternate route that a lot of people don't really get a chance to do, or even succeed in. And, succeed meaning, I've got a weekly show on the biggest sports radio station in the entire country. So that's how I define succeeding. But I guess I don't really know. I've surrounded myself with good mentors and people, saying thank you and saying please goes a long way. I was just thinking about this before, and it has opened up so many doors for me, that people, if I found, whether my experience, whether or not you're male or female, if you're well prepared, well spoken, if you're smart, um, people would be willing to help you, and you
Yep.
attract the right kind of people. So there has been a lot of people helping me, both male and female, that have helped me throughout this entire, I guess it's been a 5-year journey so far. And I don't, me personally, I haven't, felt any, I don't know, I don't know, I'm not pushback. I don't know what the word is. Adversity is the right word. I haven't,
Pressure.
yeah, any adversity, I really haven't felt myself. I don't understand, I don't know why. I guess it's just, I'm surrounding myself with the right people, and killing it, and being nice to people. It's not hard.
See, everyone needs to take note. Kindness does get you places.
Yeah. And when you have somebody on, as an interviewee on your show or something, follow up with them. Send them a note of thank you. Like, it goes a
Oh,
long way.
I believe me, I definitely am.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just
I,
like
I,
the
I know.
audience.
Oh, I
You know,
know.
That's
I
the
know.
big advice. If people always ask me for advice, that's probably the number one thing I tell them is, say thank you.
Yeah. Sticking with, a little bit more with your career before we get back into the sports world. What's it like? Because I live on Long Island. I'm in Stony Brook, so I listen to the Fan religiously. If I'm not listening to Sirius XM, it's the Fan to me. What's been the biggest moment you've had being at the Fan?
Biggest moment on the Fan. I don't know. I'm gonna have a big moment this upcoming week. Actually, I've got it's a surprise guest, and it's a current player. So in the overnights, I get a lot of former players on with me.
Mm-hmm.
The only current player I ever had on with me was Brendan Nimmo from the Mets.
Oh wow, okay.
But this is a current player that is going to be playing. Yeah, he was awesome. I loved him. But this is a current player that is going to be playing in the Super Bowl, and will be on my show this weekend. So
Okay.
I guess yeah, the best hasn't yet happened yet. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to pick a best. Sometimes the callers are the best. Sometimes the callers are the worst. Sometimes the analysts that I have on are the best. Sometimes they're not so great. And sometimes my monologues are great, and then sometimes they're not. So it's hard to pick. It's hard to narrow it down. But I would say, in terms of like most exciting thing that's happened so far, would be certainly having a player in the Super Bowl on my show.
Yeah, and believe me, I've listened to the Fan enough. I've heard some of the people who call in. Some of those people may want to pull your hair out at the time. I'm just saying.
It's what makes it. It's live theater. It's what makes it.
Steven?
Going into the season this year, who was your picks to go to this year's Super Bowl before? Obviously, we know who's in the game this year.
Yep. I made some bets on it. I almost won some money. I had the Buffalo Bills representing the AFC, and they made it all the way to the championship game. And I still have $35. I made the bets on March 17th, so before the draft and everything. So March 17th, I picked the Bills, and on March 17th, I picked the NFC Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if the Tampa Bay Bucks win, I win $770 on a $35 bet.
Wow.
Wait, let's go Bucks. I'm a Bucks fan for the next week. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
There it is.
Ashley?
Well, I hate to tell you. Oh, but digressing from that, we'll get to that, later this week.
Ashley, are you a Chiefs fan?
I live in Kansas City, so I have to support them.
I've been to Kansas City. Actually, I toured the stadium. I want to go to all the baseball stadiums in my life, and I went to Kauffman Field, which was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I did the whole barbecue thing. I try to do as much as I possibly can in there. And I went to World War, what is it, II Museum? I went there. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's awesome. But back to you. Did you play any sports growing up, or like what inspired you to be like, I'm gonna be a teacher and I'm gonna have this kick-ass like radio show?
Yeah, this kick-ass side job, right? I try to keep them really separate, actually. But I played growing up. I wanted to play football, but my mom was like, they're too big. By 7th grade, they were kind of too big for me. But played t-ball, played baseball till they made me switch to softball. Actually, as a senior, as a freshman in high school. So I switched from baseball to softball, and I actually ended up making the varsity team on day one, starting shortstop day one. So pretty good. Yeah, I'm playing on the Boomer Esiason's team this summer.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited for that. Played basketball, played volleyball, but it wasn't really till I was already teaching like 3 years, and I kind of always had like a thought in my mind, like, oh, dude, I want to go for this sports thing. I want to do it. I want to do it. And one night I met Tony Reali at an totally unrelated, at an Italian event that we were at together. Mm-hmm. And he kind of just gave me the extra push, and we don't keep in touch, and I see him on TV, and I always wanted to say thank you to him for giving me the push. But yeah, from there, he was like, you have a Twitter? I was like, yeah. He goes, you got a blog? I was like, not yet. He goes, make your blog, write as much as you can, and link them. Start there. And I was like, okay. And then 5 years later, look where it's landed me.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's awesome.
But now back to the sports stuff. I want to go more towards the New York side, because I was in you being the New Yorker on here. Deshaun Watson. Do you think he ends up with the Jets?
Do I think and do I want? I think those are two separate questions. Do I think he will? He might. Do I want him? I don't. Because when you look at, and this was the main topic of my show this last weekend, I had all the callers were basically about Deshaun Watson and the Jets. Mm-hmm. When you look at what was just exchanged between the Lions and the Rams for their quarterbacks and their picks and everything, you know who's being really licking their chops? It's the Houston Texans, because that trade drove up the value of Deshaun Watson immensely. And for the Jets, they have 4 first-round draft picks over the next 2 drafts. 4. That can get you an edge rusher, that can get you a cornerback, and that can get you an offensive lineman and a luxury pick, So that's a brand new team to me. Those are the 4 most important, pieces on a field. So to give up 4 of those 4 pieces for Deshaun Watson, he's going to go. I hope he goes to a team that is much more complete than the New York Jets are, because when you look at the Jets, they have so many other things. Quarterback is not a thing that they need to, address right now.
I guess my follow-up to that is, where do you see him end up? And do you think he stays in Houston, or does he go to a new team?
Yeah, I think Houston is totally out. Everybody's talking about him as an ex-Texan, even his former teammate. So I think Houston's out. I think that's beyond repair. I would think, I hope it's not Miami, because that means he's going to live in the Jets division and haunt them like Tom Brady did. But I'd look at 49ers is a good bet. Vikings, possibly, if they move Cousins. I know no one's really talking about that, but that's where I see it. Because the 49ers are really close. A quarterback would be their final piece, unlike the Jets.
Well, one thing, we were talking about it in our Discord server, actually, where you can hear, this interview and any other interviews we do. And one of the people who we talked to, and Steven knows exactly where I'm going with this, put up a trade proposal of Sam Darnold in this whole Watson thing, that Sam Darnold going to New England.
In a 3-way trade?
In a 3-way trade.
And now we're getting real creative. We're playing fantasy GM here.
Mind you, he's also from Massachusetts. So
correct.
Who is?
The guy who created this trade proposal that was brought up to myself and Steven.
I don't know. I don't know about that. A 3-way trade, I'd have to look at the logistics of it. Right now, in my mind, it's not making sense to me, although Bill Belichick does. He's very complimentary of Sam Darnold. I don't know. And then, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's kind of far-fetched.
Yeah, I don't either. I think that's very, what was it, draft day? And we loved that on the screen with was it Kevin Costner? But I don't see that happening.
A lot of stuff has to happen in order for that. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I don't see it either. But Steven?
Oh, you're talking about that trade with the Rams and the Lions. My God, when that story broke on Saturday night, we were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
They're getting Stafford. Why? Because the Rams don't need Stafford because he's a veteran. He's been around the block since 2007, 2008. They don't need this guy. They need somebody, honest to God, they could have had Watson, that, if you wanted to go that route, because they need somebody that is going to be a young gunslinger, not a guy that has been around the block and hasn't had a lot of success. So I honestly, truly think that this trade is a lose for both teams. Nobody wins in this trade.
I think the Lions win though, because when you think about it, all the draft capital that they got, 2 first round, not this year, but in coming years, 2 first rounders, that's a lot for a team that's rebuilding. I think the Lions won the trade by far.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely won.
Yeah. Yeah. The Rams definitely lost. Epic fail. My question to you is about the championship games. As far as it's the Green Bay and Tampa Bay game, and Aaron Rodgers is on 3rd and goal on the 8-yard line. The pass is incomplete. First he's thinking about running, and then he throws the incomplete pass. If it's 4th and goal, it's 2 minutes and 17 seconds, whatever it was, left to go in the game. You have all 3 of your timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, and they kick the field goal. What would you have done if it's 4th and goal on the 8-yard line? You have all your timeouts, 2-minute warning. What would you have done? Go for it? Because I would have gone for it.
You framed that perfectly. And you forgot to mention you've got Tom Brady on the other sideline. Absolutely, you go for it. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. Absolutely, you go for it with him. Maybe a pass or pattern to the tight end. He's one of his favorite receivers. Play action, roll out. Get creative. That's what you have to practice. So that falls on the coach. That loss, the reason why the Packers are not in this Super Bowl is on the coach. And but I'm happy because I'm rooting for the Bucks. But absolutely, you go for it. Absolutely. I don't know what he was thinking.
And speaking of not knowing what they're thinking, what the hell was the Packers defense thinking on that touchdown to Scotty Miller? Like, what are you doing? You're letting this guy catch this ball and score the touchdown. You just gave the game away.
Yeah, I want some cash on that too. I'm not a really big bettor, but I'd say like $3 here, 5 there, 2 there. I want some cash on that Scotty Miller touchdown. So cha-ching.
Wow.
I was dancing around.
Danielle wins again. Ashley?
I had something and then it's gone.
You had one job.
Skip me for now. Yes, I had one job. It'll come back. Skip me for now. Let's go to Jon.
Jon.
All right. Danielle, let me get away from the football talk for a second. I want to get a little bit to the baseball talk since we have you on. And I want to talk about the Mets.
I knew it. Long Island. I knew you were going to ask about the Mets.
What do you think of their move so far? What do you think of their move so far, getting Lindor? And do you think this team really has, I'm not saying a shot right now because, it's still, we haven't even hit spring training yet, but on paper right now, do you think they have a legit shot to make a run for this division?
For the division, I think the Mets are going to end up a wild card team in the playoffs. But it's weird though, because I think the Mets are more equipped or more readily equipped to win a World Series than the Yankees are right now on paper. You compare the rotations, who's better? The Mets. You compare their hitting philosophy, whereas the Yankees are more launch angle oriented. When you look at Judge and Stanton and Sanchez, when you look at the Mets, where they're like hit for average. I love that kind of baseball. So, right. And defensively, I think the Mets are a little bit stronger. You mentioned Lindor. Who would you rather have at shortstop, Lindor or Torres? Lindor. Yeah. I mean, let's go around the diamond. Who would you rather have? I just think the Mets are just, and this is, I don't purposely do contrarian opinions, especially with this Deshaun Watson thing. But like when I critically, logically think about it, I think the Mets are more equipped to win the World Series than the Yankees are. And there aren't many people saying that.
There's going to be some Yankee fans not happy about that we know.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
What about their starting pitching? Who's their number 2? If the Yankees were poised to win a World Series, they would have not done that stupid, ridiculous thing with the opener in that game, and then they lost in the playoffs. They don't have a number 2 starter, and a lot of question marks. Is it going to be Kluber? Is he going to be at bounce back? Is Tyone going to bounce back? There's just too many questions for the Yankees right now. If it works out, Cashman's a genius. If it doesn't work out,
but then we're also forgetting the other thing. Also, there also is that other guy, Trevor Bauer, who right now seems to be, from what I'm hearing, it seems to be he's going to the Mets. From what all indication is leading towards, but as I said to somebody a while ago, I said you put Trevor Bauer in that pitching rotation, essentially you're gonna have a healthy Noah Syndergaard. Eventually. Throw in Trevor Bauer, throw in Marcus Stroman. You have the pieces there. With the ownership now of Steve Cohen, I think that 3 to 5 year window may be sooner than people think.
I agree with you. And don't forget, the Mets just freed up a little cap space too. So they're at, like, last I looked, it was like $30 million, but Bauer's asking for $36 million a year. So are they going to meet? I don't know. And
it'll be real interesting.
But if they get Bauer, they can't get a center fielder. They'd be rolling with my buddy Brendan Nimmo in center field, which is not the worst thing. But
no.
I just think that Bauer is, like, my dad always says this: do you need it or do you want it? I think like Jackie Brownlee Jr. in center field is a need, whereas Bauer is more of a want.
It'd be one of those moves of, oh, look, the Yankees didn't go after the big name free agent the Mets did.
Yeah.
But Steven?
What was your favorite game of the NFL season this season?
I almost want to say the one that the Jets won, but it can't be that because it screwed them out of the you know what my favorite game was? I tell you, I was dancing in my living room when the Raiders on that last play of the game chucked it up and beat the Jets. At that point, the Jets that kept them still in the running for Trevor Lawrence. I was so happy for that the Jets lost, because what were they, 0-10 at the time? You know what I mean?
Yes, they were 0-10. Oh, cover 0. Let's do it.
I was like, do it. I felt like I was playing Madden. Cover 0, yes. And then the Raiders won the game, and I was like, yes, Trevor Lawrence. I'm a player. I don't propose tanking for anything. But at that point, I was like, you know what? What's 5 more games? Like, let's do it. Tank for Trevor. And then all of a sudden, they won a couple games in a row. So my favorite game, though, had to be the Raiders game. I felt weird cheering on the opponent, but at that point, I was all in.
Yeah, I'm going to put her over just for a second, but I know Ashley's favorite game of the year was her other team, M. She has 2 favorite teams. I don't know how she does it, but the Ravens versus the Brownies on Monday Night Football, because that game was batshit crazy.
I couldn't even watch. I literally just got up and walked away. I was like, I can't do this. Like,
she was she was watching it, and then like it just got too crazy. She's like, I can't do it. I'm like, okay, I'll let you know. And then she's like, I can't do it. And then she's very super. That with the doing it, they were sucking. And then she walked away. She was like, I can't do it. Tell me what happens. I'm like, all right. So I was texting her, interception again, beautiful interception. Oh, Tucker field goal, money. Yes, they won.
Yeah. Tucker's a good kicker. He was on my fantasy team. He got me a lot of points.
Oh, speaking of that, oh my God, that game against the Bills. What was that? I mean, Lamar Jackson with that pick 6, that changed the entire complexity of that game.
Yep. I had the Bills winning that game, so I'm good with it.
Yeah. Somebody else is not. Ashley?
That's okay. So random question. What is one sport that probably the mainstream doesn't enjoy, but you're like totally invested in?
Pick this out on purpose. WNBA basketball. I know a lot of people kind of poo-poo it all the time. People don't like to watch it. If you like fundamental basketball, like as a player myself, fundamental basketball, hustle plays, all that stuff, the WNBA is for you. And I'm trying so hard to weave that into my shows because it's good basketball and they're great athletes. So I'm always, and I'll always support the U.S. women's national team too. It's just women's sport in general, I feel like don't get a fair shake at, like from predominantly male audience, that I think if people just open up their mind and watched a game. Like I challenged my listening audience. I said in 2021, my New Year's resolution for you listeners is to watch one, pick anyone. You got the Olympics coming up, one female sports thing this entire year, and tell me if you like it or you didn't like it. So
And they can also, if they don't like women's basketball, Patrick Mahomes' fiance, she is an investor in the women's soccer league that's coming to Kansas City. So they've got options.
Yep, and you'll see that there's a lot of them. There's another, I forget the other ownership who bought, I think, an LA team. I forget. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, it's bet on women. That's what I always say. And bet on women, and you know.
Danielle, we do take callers sometimes. Are you okay to take a call or two?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Elder Mike, I know you're listening. I know you want to ask that question. Come on. You're on with Danielle McCartan.
Hi, Danielle. How you doing?
Hi, Mike, right? Hi, Mike.
Yes. Hi, it's Mongrovian Mike. Yes, you can say Mike. I just want, how exciting is it that we finally have an owner in this town that could go head to head with cash? At least now you see Sandy Alderson can at least have some money in his back pocket to pull out and not make any jokes like, we have Nimmo. What do we need this guy for? So
yeah.
How is it in on your side? Like, do you feel the excitement of like Met fans? Like, at least if we're not going to go to the World Series, at least we have an owner that's going to be fighting and vying for the same free agents that the Yankee fans do. I feel that is going to be really great this year.
It's going to be great radio. That's for sure. I get a lot of calls from Mets fans with that same sentiment there, Mike. It's exciting for Mets fans, and understandably so. I mean, they finally have an owner that is not only he is the richest owner in all of baseball, second richest owner in all of professional sports. So it's exciting. He's a smart businessman. He was in trouble and he's in trouble again. So we'll see how that kind of, financial trouble, how that kind of plays out. But, and he's a fan. Like, I think that's what people like most. Forget the money. I think people love that he's a fan of the team. And he asks for suggestions, or he did when his Twitter was active, but he was asking for suggestions from the fans on how to improve the ballpark experience. And I think that just the accessibility. I mean, it sounds like one just really rich fan talking among all the other fans of the Mets. So I think that's where a lot of the excitement comes from.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right, Danielle. That you're right, because what sold me on him was he had that $400,000 Buckner ball, and he's just throwing it around, and he's just like tossing it in the camera and everything. That is so cool, because anyone else, if I would have spent $400,000, I'm not playing with that thing. That thing's going to be locked away.
Yeah, and he actually is going to lock it. I think he said he's going to put in start up a Mets Hall of Fame. So he's going to donate it to the Mets Hall of Fame over there at Citi Field. So that's pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Danielle, I know we're getting close to the end of right now. Final question from me. This is a question we asked all of our guests on the other show, but since this is the premiere of this show, we figure we'll take it from there because, I'm still on both shows, so it's not too much of an issue. What are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza?
Disgusting.
Oh my gosh. First she picks the Bucks. Now she's hating the pineapple. Come on.
Are you kidding me? Pineapple is like has no business being near a pizza. Forget about it. That's disgusting. Ew. Oh, no way. Listen, as an Italian American, it is sacrilegious to put a slice of pineapple anywhere near a slice of pizza.
Dave LaGreca, even though he's Swiss, not Italian, he approves of your sentiments, Danielle.
Yeah, to ask for pineapple on pizza around here, people look at you with the same face I just gave you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, LaGreca has went on not one but two pizza rants on Busted Open on Sirius XM. And he's like, why do you put pineapple on pizza? Why do you put jalapenos on pizza? Peas and carrots. It doesn't go together. Cheese and sauce, that's all you need. I'm like, peas and carrots. Okay, jalapenos, okay, whatever. I like spicy stuff. But why do you have to have peas and carrots? That is disgusting.
I've never heard of that until just now. That is like, I'd rather.
And trust me, Danielle, there's people that have put kiwi on pizzas. There's people
we've heard it all.
Peanut butter. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
There's one person who's in our group who got cherries on her pizza one time. And she lives in Baltimore.
And she went on a full-blown rant.
Okay, yeah, let's
you're gonna make me lose my appetite. I'm making baked ziti for dinner. You're making me lose my appetite.
Steven, you have any final questions?
My final question to you is this: who do you think is gonna? What do you think is it gonna take? Because you're very high on the Bills this year. What do you think is it gonna take that one move or that one whatever they got to do to get Buffalo to the next point? Because they came so close to getting to the big dance.
Yeah, my friend, she lives in Vegas, but she's a really big Bills fan actually because her parents are from Buffalo. So we had this conversation already.
Mhm.
And what I told her was this, and she really likes football. So what I told her was this: you can't have your leading rusher or one of your most, second maybe your leading rusher. It can't be your quarterback.
Right.
So the one move that I would make, the immediate move, what I would make is go out and get yourself a free. I don't know what their cap space situation is, but either through the draft or find yourself a free agent running back that is at least going to take some pressure off of Josh Allen there, because
Right.
it's ridiculous. I mean, running plays go through him. I mean, I'm not a defensive coordinator, but I could figure that out. So that would be the one thing that would kind of push them over.
Yes.
All right, Ashley.
All right, my final question is, everyone's all about, they have to have the wings and this, that, and the other. What is your Super Bowl Sunday menu? What is
Great
your perfect menu for Sunday?
That's a good question. I normally in normal times host the party. So I'm looking at my countertop. My countertops are usually filled. I mean, I'm Italian American from New Jersey. My countertop, it's like a buffet style that I have going around here. I have sandwiches out for people that they can kind of just make their own little sandwiches. I do baked ziti. I do mozzarella sticks. I don't even know, just a lot. And there's always a lot left over. But for me, the most important thing to have at the party, or else it's not a Super Bowl party, chips and dip, yeah, all that. It's the Carvel, the football cake with the crunchies on the outside of it. I need that. That needs to be at my. I'm not having a party this year because of everything that's going on, but I might go to ShopRite and get myself that just to eat by myself watching the TV, the game on TV. I need it. I need it.
Just whatever you do, please do not binge eat the shit out of them chips if the Bucks are getting their asses beat, because it's not healthy. Oh, they're losing. They're getting their butts beat. Oh, screw it. We're gonna just eat the crap out of these chips and dip.
Yeah, don't tempt me. I could probably do it.
Damn it! I poked the bear.
Yeah, not a good idea there, Stephen. But Danielle, thank you so much for being the first guest on the sports show. Where can our listeners find you, and what do you have coming up this week?
Yeah, it's an honor, you guys. This was fun. I like it, and I like the three of you together. You guys had very good camaraderie among the three of you. So I got you guys on gallery view. That's what I said. But
Thanks.
yeah. So it's an honor to be the first guest. I wish you lots of luck in the future, and of course I'll be coming back if you'd like me to.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure, no problem.
But as far as everybody else listening, I'm going to do my Super Bowl special this weekend on the Fan. We'll probably sprinkle in some Mets and Yankees while we're at it. But I'll give you my predictions. We'll break down the game. We'll talk to, this is the only hint you're getting, again, a current player that will be playing on Super Bowl Sunday will be on my show. And then it's also the return of a very fan favorite segment called Beatboxing, where I'm going to put a Buccaneers radio guy against a Chiefs radio guy, and they're going to go at it like a boxing.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I am going to tune into your radio show this weekend, so we get to hear this, because this sounds very fascinating. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a fun, fast-paced show. I know it's in the middle of the night, but it's my brand, and it's the way I like to do it. So my show is on WFAN radio. If you're in the local New York area, you guys know it already, 101.9 FM. 660 AM. And if you're not in our area, like you guys are not, you go on, it's the radio.com app. It's free. And you type in WFAN, and the time slot is Saturday night into Sunday, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So 2 to 6 a.m. Super Bowl Sunday. I will be with you on the radio. And I hope you guys give me a call. That'd be cool.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But
Actually, you too. You're the Chiefs fan, so I'm expecting a phone call.
I'll have to take a day nap so that I can call in and we'll talk some football.
I don't ever get any girls calling on the phone. So when I see your name, I'm going to know it's you.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you so much for joining us. For Stephen, for Ashley, and for yours truly, this has been another installment of the Our Nation's Sports Show, Discord exclusive. We will see you guys Thursday night at 7 p.m. for our Super Bowl preview. Until then, catch you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.